The reason why you aren't sleeping tonight is because deep down you already know this connection changed you. This reading feels centered around someone who formed a deep emotional recognition with another person, but that connection also exposed fears, insecurities, and emotional wounds that they were not fully prepared to face. One energy here carried a greater sense of freedom, openness, and ability to embrace the future, while the other struggled with emotional instability, past disappointments, and insecurity around love, trust, and abundance. There's a sense here of someone who has spent a long time fighting for their emotional or material well being, and because of that, they developed a frozen hearted way of navigating relationships. Even though there is still longing, attachment, and a desire for understanding or reconciliation, this person is still operating from secrecy, emotional immaturity, and unresolved resentment. Part of what hurts them is realizing that the very freedom and emotional lightness they admired in this connection also challenged them in ways they could not control. Spirit's advice ultimately points towards choosing joy, freedom, and emotional movement instead of waiting for someone who is still struggling to fully open their heart. Let's tap in. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bethany Alexandria. I am your host and reader, Delia. A warm welcome back to our new and returning viewers and to our subscribers. A special shout out. Welcome to Blind at Midnight. This reading may resonate with you if you have been seeing repeated numerical synchronicities of the following numbers: 1055, 144, 4404, 333, 606, 1111, 8558, 222, and 909. The following initials may also be of importance to you: E, S, L, C, N, T, G, and R. This is your reading that will reveal what the day tries to hide. When everything gets quiet, we will see what it is that is screaming loudly at you and why it is that you aren't sleeping. Isn't it strange? Isn't it strange? I am still me. You are still you. And nothing's the same. Isn't it strange how people can change? From strangers to friends, friends into lovers, and strangers again. There's something here in your energy about the ebb and flow. And when you find yourself rushing up to shore with a fellow wave that looks just like you, and it's about the change that happens between the rushing in and the receding of that wave, and the realization that we really are separate after all. So we may be looking at individuality, ebb and flow, harmony, acceptance of what is, acceptance of the game of life, acceptance of whatever game it is that would describe the ebb and flow of the tide. Yes? Collective, why is it that you aren't sleeping? What is rising in the quiet for you? Spirit guides, those inclined to our highest good and unconditional love. Thank you. We have anger management in the reversed, don't want to hear it in the crossing, and envious turmoil in the upright. So I would take a gander and say that in relation to the messages that I will be bringing you, that this isn't your first time listening to me. And somehow maybe you have in the past found me to be a little bit abrasive, or the message itself wasn't something that you cared for. But maybe you kept coming back to my page and you wanted more because you realized that the truth may have been a little bit too cold, 1022 coming through for your liking. But it was worthwhile because there was a shift. It challenged you in a way that you've been pussyfooting about and not wanting to get to the meat and bones of the matter. So now you're like, oh God, okay, what are you finna say now? What will you say now? First of all, Godspeed. The universal powers be with you. Thank you for your openness. You may not know it yet, you may not feel it fully, but you have signed up to do the greatest universal triathlon, the greatest cosmic triathlon. And so if you subscribe to the way that I lay my bricks and the way that I mix my mortar, then welcome. Yes? Yes. Envious turmoil, obsessed hearts, and jealous minds brew a storm of unyielding chaos. You want to have a discussion? A discussion that you know is difficult. This is why you can't sleep, because you have some decisions to make about this discussion. You haven't really made it yet. You are obsessing. You're obsessing about cutting through the chaos that you're currently sitting in. What is this envious turmoil? Okay. So this conversation that you wish to need to, are being pulled to, challenged to have, there were questions here around your motivations, and you may have been accused of being jealous or coming from a place of chaos because maybe you didn't want to give up your toy. I'll say it as they show me. Okay. Ancestors, can you clarify for us this envious turmoil? Future's embrace. Had a sense of it. So you were sharing dominion and power with an energy that seemed to have been very attractive but headed in the other direction. The energy of Apollo may be important. Someone here may be in the courier services, or you may have used a courier service recently, or you may have been rushing for an appointment. Seize prospects, absorb wisdom, and spring into action for your ambition. Aha. So there is mutual attraction here in the energy, but a split between the directions that you both wanted to go in. And it's not necessarily that you, collective, didn't want to go in the direction of the other party, but there were hesitations here. You may have had a lot of activity and obligations around you, bit of a whirlwind lifestyle by your own definition, if you were to give it one. And this other energy may have been more clear to play the game, more clear to be the receiver of the ball, and more clear to be the forerunner. And it created some friction because they wanted to go, they wanted to jet, but you couldn't. There may have also been creative limitations here as well on your part, and also creative friction. Possibly your desires were to create in other areas. And so I am seeing a gap here in that there were some vital discussions that needed to have been had and they weren't. What are you avoiding by staying awake? Emotional intelligence in the reversed, expecting in the reversed, and confused in the upright. You're avoiding some truth. You're avoiding a deeper truth. You're avoiding emotional intelligence. I'm getting this is coming from self. There is a knowing that you carry. There's a knowing that you carry, and then there is disbelief that drowns it out. Because it seems that you are aware and you've been skirting around the fact that there was a new beginning or the opportunity or offer of a new beginning that you missed out on. And you are more so, I will say, pretending to be confused. You also feel very bound to the life that you've lived so far. You have a very hard time sloughing off the past. Someone may be an earth sign. You may process things in a unique way that's very cyclical, and it may keep you in a bind. Also, you may have entered into situations that have created binds for you. Very heavy earth element being felt here. So this is giving, feeling the repercussions of earthly matters based on the decisions that we've made in the past. You don't trust entirely your own knowing. So let's do the work with the time that we have. So the question for you, collective, is who, what, when, where, and under what circumstances was this seed of doubt planted in you, whereby your own emotional intelligence was overridden? I'm seeing here that someone may have held emotional intelligence in youth, but this may have been wrangled from you by an adult. Someone may have vetoed your ability to make a decision, and you may have acquired or sustained some level of trauma, blockage, mistrust. hmm Especially if you shared this emotional intelligence as well. Saying it as the spirit guides are saying it, this may have also been in you expressing a simple no. So you may have experienced in the past a very vital moment in your life where you exercised your no because of your divine emotional intelligence and it was overridden. And this has rendered you now not trusting in your own knowing. There is a prayer here in your energy that you have been praying for a new beginning, a new start. That very ability to be able to slough off and shake off the past, the gunk, the sludge, the dirt, the grime. Why is it that you have such a hard time with closing out cycles? Way too many. Okay, they want us to look between the lines. Swept away, kicked to the curb in the reverse. Abundant security in the reversed. Frozen heart in the upright. Multitudinous. Mm, okay. All right. Fine. Okay. Thank you. So I will backtrack and say that it's not really about you avoiding this truth, but more so, I would like if you would give me the permission to articulate this truth for you. A part of the reason why you've had a hard time closing out cycles and being hopeful about being able to start a new beginning that really meant something that was long term and trustworthy, and why all the options that have been coming along have been so confusing, is that the past has brought you severe whirlwinds. I'm seeing here that you've gone through relationship dynamics where you were deeply building with individuals. So this is a major time, emotional, spiritual, physical investment in relationships. And storms ended up coming through and you ended up having to abort or abandon, or somebody ended up pulling the plug. It's not that you wanted to end these cycles, but it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worthy of you. And each time that these whirlwinds occurred with this swept away energy, you lost out a lot with abundant security in the reverse. Also, okay, so here you go. So that was your confusion. Your confusion was why you're trying to figure out why is it that I've had such a hard time embracing the future and absorbing wisdom that may be challenging to past cycles, to the way that I've always been myself, allowed myself to be. This is about your own personal freedom and liberation. So there is your answer. You've gone through really, really, really harsh, effed up cycles that have caused you to lose out on important physical things. This may even have been a roof over your head as well. Okay. All right. What is the truth you only admit in the dark? It's not so much that you're avoiding, but you are sitting in confusion and feeling frozen. Your heart isn't involved here. It needs warmth and empathy. You need connection, genuine connection. The truth you only admit in the dark. We have Tower in the crossing, so transformation is difficult and regaining power and strength. Next, we have letting go resistance in the reversed and pregnancy test in the reversed. Mm. Hmm. Tell us more, spirit guides. You're wasting your time. Reversed. Tell us more. Heart opening, listen. Tower crossing. Powering up, being a challenge because we are still holding on to this frozen heart. But we also were probably looking at a doorway here of siphoning energy with pregnancy test in the reverse. This is also having a hard time. Maybe someone here has had challenges in not only physically planting pentacles and seeing them flourish, but also with pregnancies and childbirthing as well. Mm. Hmm. Hmm. We're going to clarify this energy here. What's happening between you and them at midnight? It's not the right time in the reverse. Someone here is anxious, wanting to rush in. Moonlit unity, thinking a lot about it. Relying on the cycles of the moon to emote or communicate feelings, maybe telepathically. We have betrayal revealed, reversed, way off in the future, in the upright. Mm. What's happening way off in the future? Revenge. Okay. Let's move these up. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Open your heart center and listen to your intuition. Listening to it will lead you in the right direction. Listen to your heart. The universe has always wanted for you the shining of your heart. Let your light shine from your heart to experience what the universe has always wanted for you. Mm. Earning power on the side, letting go resistance, so putting up resistance, because that's in the reverse. Putting up resistance to King of Pentacles energy here, but in the reverse, Queen and or King of Pentacles energy. Pregnancy in the reversed. You're wasting your time. In the reversed. Someone here is offended over a family decision that someone potentially decided not to build with them. Now we do see here that what is happening between you and them, it's not the right time. Someone wants to rush in with what's hidden here. They want to have a conversation to gain better understanding and bring about emotional balance. When it comes to the subject matter of betrayal and what we perceive to be a betrayal. However, we see here way off in the future, there is this revenge energy here. Someone is reverting back to their usual self. Someone is being childish or deciding to get even. Spirit guides, what is your advice? We have third party, reversed, love triangle, relationship, the other woman, secret hookup, reversed, bank failure, reversed, ooh la la, keeping you a secret in the upright, falling on anger management, reversed, and kind of wanting to hear it because we know that it's the truth, keeping you a secret in the upright. Tell us more, spirit guides. Fun and adventure joy. So it seems here that, yes, it's great that you are here. Not the state that you are in. You are still in the state of being isolated from your own knowing, which is alarming and sad, because really and truly where that leaves you is in the loser spot. Yeah. You're confused. You have a frozen heart. You want heart opening. Yes. However, you haven't evolved and you're still petty and seeking revenge, and you're not 1044 coming through, entirely committed to changing. You want to be in someone's face to waste their time. What does that say about you? Spirit's advice here is that you need to do the work, firstly. Whatever third party attachments that you're currently entertaining, you need to lose them. Because what's happening is that you, 1044 coming through, are being seen as that third party for this individual here. They perceive you as a disaster that they escaped. They feel that they have definitely escaped a very desolate situation. Yes. And this sits primarily around you being secretive. Secretive about being confused and cold and really in need of some deep soul repair, but you're still steady wanting to be vengeful and playing games. Spirit's advice is that you will remain watching this energy, having fun, adventure, and joy. There is work for you to do. And as you will keep coming back for these readings, I look forward to seeing your energy improve. If you found this reading to be enlightening, revealing, or affirming of your experience, I invite you back for the next reading. Until next time, bye for now.